Our next talk for today is reserved for the platinum partners of this year's conference, Rivian, who have significantly contributed to achieving everything we envisioned. This is another milestone in our long-standing collaboration, and we hope there will be many more. Next, we have Erhun Arkan, General Manager of Serbia and Vice President of Rivian's Global Consumer Application Software Teams. Erhun will be presenting data-driven culture in software-defined vehicles. In this session, he will explore Rivian's innovative use of data and AI to enhance vehicle development and software integration. Erhun will share how data-driven strategies are shaping the future of electric vehicle technology, focusing on software and connectivity advancement. Please welcome Erhun Arkan to the stage.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. As I think, as she reiterated, I'm the general manager for Rivian Serbia and also vice president for consumer applications for the company. And Rivian is an American auto manufacturer company, which I'll tell you more about it later on. But one thing is in automotive industry, it's kind of odd problem. We are the only automotive, at least OEM-wise, here. But if you think of it, like Rivian vehicle, some of you guys might have seen it, is an amazing edge device with lots of processing power right next to your consumer and an amazing connectivity to the cloud. So it's a fantastic platform for all kinds of AI applications. So in this presentation, what I would like to do, I highlight some of the trends that we are monitoring and also our approach in a nutshell. And I like to also share with some of the applications that we developing, reiterating. So before I go into that, I realize Rivian is relatively less known here. And I like to share with you a couple minutes video, and then I'll do my best to narrate that. So actually that brings a better context for the rest of the presentations. And also I'll tell you a little bit about Rivian Serbia. With that, they told me you need to wait a little bit, maybe one more, but here we go. So this is our category-defining vehicle R1. So we have two models, SUV and truck that you have seen. This is our second generation. 0 to 100 is under 2.5 seconds here. This software was developed in Belgrade, by the way, this launch mode. And this is the product that we have. We are going to be launching in 26, and this is our flagship for Europe. First, it's going to be launching in the US, then it's a fast follow to Europe. And our factory is in Normal, Illinois. And then this is where we are manufacturing these vehicles, including our two. And we have another factory we are ramping up in Georgia, Atlanta. I love this color. Rivian is not only consumer, also we have commercial line. So we do electric delivery trucks. Our biggest customer is Amazon. Actually, these trucks are functional and then operating in Germany, all around the US and Canada. And we have our own charging network here. We call it Adventure Network. And the company tech-wise is vertically integrated. We pretty much develop everything in-house as much as we can. These are our amazing customers. But we are not a traditional automaker. We have direct-to-consumer. That creates us lots of opportunities. So therefore, we don't have dealership. We manage our vehicle service, and we manage our customer experience centers. These are some of our vehicle service vehicles that can be basically departed to customers as needed. And our vehicles are made for adventure. It's a fantastic outdoor vehicles. It's an amazing experience besides going to 0 to 100 under 2.5 seconds. These are our service center. service center, retail center, and next one is our smallest form factor, R3 Sports, and this one is going to be coming to Europe also. Again, thanks for your time. So this hopefully gives a little bit context. Since we are in Belgrade, and also I'd like to a little bit tell you about what we are doing here, and then I'm going to jump into my main topic. So Belgrade, we started this site 1.5, 2 years ago. We already ramped up to more than 380 people, probably nice round number. We are going to end up 400, hopefully, at the end of the year. And again, the talent that we find here, we are pretty impressed with. And then we've been getting lots of supports from the universities, from the industry, from the government, and also the tech talent is pretty diverse. So it's from infotainment that you can go all the way to see digital signal processing, up to web, Android, mobile, embedded. So we have a booth also. We are hiring. Please, if you guys are interested. Jumping into my main topic here. So what I would like to, probably there are more expertise in this domain in the room, but some of the AI trends that we are monitoring as an organization and basically our approach to those trends. So agentic frameworks, LLMs, basically autonomy and adaptability, and definitely it's interesting, goal orientation is there right now with some of the LLMs. Inference, accelerating hardware, I think we are seeing this vertically integrated end-to-end hardwares here. But next one is very interesting for us, voice-to-voice. Voice-to-voice communication is quite interesting. Today, actually, I'll be giving you examples of some of the AI data-driven features we developed. So one of them is in cockpit. So I'm going to be going into further details on that. But in cockpit, customer experience is very important. I think that's going to be a game changer there. And then along those lines, obviously, you need to real-time kind of feedback is a driver safety type of environment when you are driving for voice-to-voice. Therefore, you need end-to-end latency at a reasonable level. For that, you need edge computing. And then also with that, SLM models, I think it's getting interesting because very much user case based. So I think we can utilize them. And AI on the back end, we are seeing lots of innovation happening in the front end. We see it's gonna start happening in the back end. AI is interacting with the other AIs. So moving along, this is, again, as much as I disclose, but at least that's our philosophy. So this is a rapidly evolving industry. Innovation is like crazy. So basically what we feel like having a network of SLM, LLM, simple models, and almost agentic framework that you can plug and play multiple LLMs and SLMs, but you need to have their legs deep into the Rivian ecosystem. So that's ECUs, infotainment, hardware, commercial, factory. So, and then on the other side, you need to manage your customer interface. I mean, for basically better customer experience as well as getting the better data. So therefore, you need to have unified experience between vehicle, mobile, web. And then I think you can ensure better privacy and security with that. So we feel like this approach, again, in a nutshell, I can not go in too much into the solution space, but we feel like this is the approach that we are taking. As I said, lots of interesting data and AI type of applications occurring in the space. So I'm going to give a bit of a flavor. So I said touch points or applications. So this one is Rivian Charge Score. So again, my examples, let me rephrase those. So first three, it's going to be much more enhancing EV experience. And the secondary is, since we have direct-to-consumer model, then focusing on that. And then the last one is going to be more software in-cockpit experience. And then new software development practices coming into automotive. Most of you guys are probably in the software space, but automotive space is changing rapidly. So here it's, so if I zoom out, basically look at actually if I personalize, so when I got my Rivian, I used to live in Canada, Vancouver, BC. So we went to school, my wife and I went to school in San Diego. So we wanted to show that to our daughter. So I have taken this 6,000 kilometer trip. I can tell you some of the experiences that I have seen, and we were able to address with the digital tools we have, but after that we enhanced those tools. So it was very personal. But when you look at the range anxiety, I mean, lots of people adapting EVs, so you need to give them a seamless experience. So what it means, point A to point B. They don't need to think about anything else. So, from Belgrade to Budapest, I'm stopping by here, I want this coffee place, I want this restaurant on my way. So you need to give an ability to do them, navigate and plan. So with the planner portion, actually, we integrated into our mobile app. So you can plan that, and conveniently you can send to your vehicle, so when you jump into your vehicle, it's going to be ready. Obviously, this is based on multiple factors, your driving habits, weather conditions, and etc., and then keeps adapting, keeps learning. So this is number one, is like end-to-end experience. So when I'm getting point A to B, how do I do that? Number two, this is the one that I highlighted here, charge score. So we have many cars. Right now, we started understanding, and this is the one good example of connected car and data. Like, we have many cars and experiencing a bunch of the chargers, and most of these chargers, besides us and Tesla, reliability is pretty bad. So you go there 350 kilowatt, you get hardly 80 kilowatts. So like, how do we resolve this problem? Well, we got cars, driving around, interfacing with this. So why don't we come up with our own charge solution, charger score, we call. So based on the plug success rate, initiation time, derating, and a couple other factors, we started coming up with the Rivian charge score. So that's basically the problem this addresses. The charger I am going, I can rely, it's a good charger, right? I feed that algorithm back to the trip planner, so your trip planner experience is better. And the third one is the basic access. You have to have more chargers. Now, I think this is not the domain, but we are also, basically, our software seamlessly works with Tesla chargers in the US, so you are able to tap into that. But getting back to charge score, so we launched this 6 months ago, and this was done in Belgrade. So it's basically, we launched this across all of our platform, again, unified customer experience, vehicle mobile app and web, and also ABRB app. ABRB app stands for a better route planner, the best route planner, probably right now. It does the point A to B thing that I mentioned. It's owned by Rivian, so actually we got the smartness of them, all the algorithms, we embedded into our vehicles and mobile, but they are also serving the electric EV industry for, we are passionate about electrification, sustainability, anything we can do to help. So that's why we are also surfacing charge score there. And then looking at the data, after 1 month, every software we launch, after 1 month, we look at the users' patterns. Is it consumed by our consumers? Is it utilized? And KPIs, how it's doing. So this was actually, this software, this approach, it gave us 35% increase in the charge stops. So the other one is smart recommendation based on the behavior patterns. So connected, smart, pretty much lots of software guys, you guys understand basically the smart recommendations. So one example is interesting here, enhancing customer experience while contributing to EV part of the car is this. So every morning when you live, so you have certain patterns. This particular VIN, basically, it's you can schedule it from your mobile phone, but it does it 8% of the time. So basically, you can nudge this user, like let's say 7 a.m. Say, I know your daily pattern 7:30, but would you like to start your preconditioning so your temperature in the car can become the level that you desire? While doing that, you prepare the battery for the optimum conditions also. So here you are increasing the customer experience, but increasing also helping addressing the EV space. This is a basic one. So I'm going to pass really quickly. And so battery is a key component of EV charging experience. So we have ML running our lab test points, manufacturing, and field data. So basically, it's depending on battery chemistry. It's just adjust then based on your driving patterns, and then you reduce the charging time, and then battery performance. So now we discussed a little bit about all these EV, and there are many other examples, but I mean, EV type of things. So the other one, vehicle service. As I said, all of you guys have been to dealers, right? So when you have an issue, you call them, you schedule something, you go there, crappy coffee, and service assistant with a, service, and then the guy comes with the attitude, and you got the picture, right? This whole experience. What I call this reactive. So what I mean by reactive, issue happen, how am I resolving the issue? So we have taken this reactive model, and we decided to do two things. We are going to enhance the consumer experience, and we are going to reduce the time. So here, it's basically one thing we observe, collecting data at the first touch point for perfect work order is the critical. This is not a data AI, this is a UX problem. But garbage in, garbage out. So you need to get the right data into the system. So next stage, and we do this in the mobile, some of them hasn't launched yet, and then the team doing that also is in Belgrade. So it's then next stage, I think, based on the knowledge base, you have some level of self-troubleshooting, but then the next stage is quite interesting because you start going through the symptom tree, diagnostic symptom tree, while accessing remotely, since it's a connected car, what's happening with this consumer, and as well as you compare that with your fleet data. So all of a sudden, the pattern that your consumers is establishing start matching with what you are seeing in the fleet. So ideal case on that, when the consumer is going to that step, by the time he finishes, you know what his issue is. So all of a sudden, you cut down the whole 15 days experience maybe to 5 minutes. So this is the reactive model. Take this to the next extreme, right? There's a proactive model. So proactive model is, why are you doing that? Let your vehicle do that. So, and vehicle taps into, basically, identifies the issue based on your patterns, and then basically schedule its own service and maintenance. So, and then we can dispatch a mobile unit, and then we can address the issue. So we feel like this is a unique position that we have due to this connected and software approach that basically we can address this issue. And the next one is vehicle assistant. So this is the very interesting one. I think if you guys, like our chief of software officers is mentioned, I think the car's actually taking a step back. You have buttons, right? Now, us and Tesla moving all touch screen. I know some people don't like it. I call that BlackBerry moment, in 2007. But now I think this like safety critical environment, I think voice first approach is the right path. But the problem with the voice first is most of the voice assistants that we have in the market is very much, you might as well get the same information from your Siri or for your PC. So they'll tell you what the weather is, but I think the real voice assistant should be expert, contextually aware, and then vehicle expert is key, and all aspects of the vehicle, and then all the other parameters. And then here, that's where you are using probably, and then also like, the conversation patterns might be different in the car than your Siri. You can call it and wait, but probably barge in is a more important because it's again, mission critical safety environment. So you need to provide that. So then what are the challenges? End-to-end latency, I want my response because again, I'm driving, safety critical environment. You need to reason the hallucinations, again, the same environment. And edge computing, and then how you manage, how you do the load balancing is quite important also. You have lots of processing power in the modem, in the infotainment, but you can tap into that, and then how you do that is pretty smartly. And deep integration with application and CEUs. So this is like, we are passionate about it. I think our CSO mentioned that we are working on this, but again, I just wanted to, this is a unique place. Then this is a perfect application data distribution basically between edge and cloud. And then the other one is so here it's one of my favorite, my team did it, is GearGuard. So before I jump into GearGuard, actually, let me tell you what's happening in the automotive industry. I'm not an expert, but I see the patterns. So I think traditional car industry, you buy a car, right? So that car pretty much stays the same till you buy the next car. So you are lucky to get one software update. And then that software update, most of the time, fixing some bugs, is not getting you any feature or anything like that. Rivian basically does software updates every month. So every month, you are getting a completely new software. So basically, either your car that you buy is improving every month, and then you have this nice pleasantry moment when the OTA comes. Okay, what's next? Oh, fantastic, I was looking. But more than that, maybe nice visuals, and then new UX. And you can use this for a brand-defining moment also. Like you can almost do, lack of a better word, your market promotion with that. So I'll show you one example of that. But here but for that is the whole thing changes waterfall to agile, right? And you need to have that. So this was one example. Again, getting back to Yeti. We call this GearGuard Gary, right? So basically this guy protects your car. If anyone approaches, it's basically warns you, and then you can visualize from your cameras. But also another thing, if you are in an accident, actually captures the last, 10 to 20 seconds. So I think you have the proof. But we have an adventure. We have an outdoor vehicle. When you go there and 360, you can capture all of your adventure, all of your off-road adventure, and then you can share that with friends and etc. So this is what it does. So this was one of the features that we develop. And when we are passionate about, speaking of data-driven, we are passionate about Net Promoter Scores. You guys are familiar, probably, we keep asking our customers what are the features, users and non-users. And we define the KPIs. And another thing we have, I think we develop in a cloud-based feature environment. Most of the software side, I think you guys, okay, but in the car, it's like, so we can gradually surface the features or do the other way around. So, and then also we look at the usage patterns, like we have enough analytics, like some of my colleagues will present further details, but enough analytics basically in 1 month, how many people use this path and what they have did. So product management success comes from that, Basically, you need to reach the 75% usage on the base on that. So this is one thing we are keen about it. The last feature that I'm gonna, speaking of AI assistant, for those of you probably who are as old as I am, remember Knight Rider, right? My favorite AI agent is Knight Rider. So, and speaking of brand-defining moments, Halloween is my favorite holiday, is our brand-defining moment. So every year, Halloween time, we launch this little bit, whatever you call this, pleasantry theme. So this year, we launch Halloween. We launch also Back to the Future, and then also Knight Rider. So with one button, you can change the whole personality of the car. By the way, I have that feature here in the booth. My team has been waiting for my presentation to demonstrate that. So I thought it would be cool for you guys to see. And then this next one.
Good to be back.
And kids. So also it's a basically, if you would like to see that, is in our booth. But you see this feature is a kind of a, actually for marketeers, it's kind of a, it amplifies the brand, right? So it's not functional, it's something nice. You share with your family and friends, all of a sudden your car experience has improved because you have this nice feature, and then it comes in Halloween time, and then also it also promotes the brand. So anyway, that's my presentation. Again, thanks for your time. I did a good job, 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the organizing team, this is for you. Thank you for joining us and being a part of Data Science Conference 2024.